The Steam Deck. I said deck. What an actual cluster. I finally got my pre-order. It was the 512 gig model. It took 50 minutes. I got locked out of my account for, I think it was like 30 minutes. Before we get too far in the video, I want to know, were you able to secure a pre-order? Let me know in the comments below and hit the like button while you're down there. Let me roll it back. So 9:55 a.m. Pacific time. I am good to go. I have everything ready. I got my Steam wallet loaded up with my money to pre-order, to reserve the new Steam Deck, which I'm very excited about. I have my watch show me the exact seconds of when 10 a.m. comes around. 10 a.m. rolls, and then boom, refresh, hit the reserve button for the 512 gig model, go through the checkout. I say, yes, I want to use my Steam wallet. It's like, cool, here's your address, great, awesome. You get to the confirm page, I click the confirm, yes, I want this, hit the purchase, and then it's like, actual dump being taken in the Steam servers. And then I spent a good 25 minutes just refreshing, trying to get the thing to work. It kept on saying, hey, it's an error, retry again, retry again, retry again, try again. Then every now and then I get to the actual checkout and I'd be like, oh man, it's happening. And then finally it was like, listen, you've been trying to purchase way too much. Stop it. So I'm locked out of my account for like what felt like an eternity. I mean, it's 30 minutes really. And then it finally let me in and I was able to purchase. Honestly, I don't even know what ship date I got. I know like the 512 gig models, after about an hour, we're getting Q2 of 2022 estimates, which is kind of depressing because it's supposed to come out in like December or something like that. Maybe I should have gone with the 256 gig because those were still in Q1 of 2022. I don't even know. Like I said, the confirmation said I pre-ordered it. I don't know what the ship date is. Don't know. I gotta give credit where credit's due. They put in a system where you can't use a brand new account to order this. So it had to be pre-June 2021, I believe, and it had to have already made a purchase for you to be able to get the 10 a.m. reservation going right away. So that's cool. I like that because, you know, they're trying to combat bots, and bots are a huge problem with all these pre-orders with all the devices. However, the system seems to have been broken because people started getting the, sorry, your account's too new, even though it's like a 10-year-old account or an account that's already purchased something for the past couple of years, and it started saying, sorry, it's a new account, you can't reserve this. Whew, that's a big old oof right there. Along with the getting locked out of the account, too many attempted purchases, which is super depressing. It's like, I'm trying to purchase your awesome new hardware. Don't lock me out. So I do think it was really cool that Steam is trying to avert basically bots trying to capture this stuff. I don't know how effective it really was because it seems like there was a lot of technical difficulties that fell through the cracks for the overall prevention and all that. Like it seemed like their software prevention type of stuff was falling apart. It wasn't actually going to let new people who just signed up for a Steam account purchase this until 48 hours after the 10 a.m. release time, or the 10 a.m. reserve your Steam Deck time. They get a good effort for trying to prevent the bots. Their site took a big old dump though when all of a sudden millions of people were interested in a Steam Deck. Because also it was only $5 to reserve, so you know there's going to be an influx of people who are just trying to get a reservation and then decide down the road if they actually have the money or have the finances willing to partake in purchasing a $400 to $630 device that you may or may not need, honestly. So the pre-ordering out of the way, I do want to say I think the Steam Deck is really cool. It's awkward looking, but I think like what it's offering and what it shows on the surface is really amazing, and I honestly can't wait for this device. The more I look at it, the more I get excited about it. In fact, for some strange reason, as soon as I started thinking that it was like a Sega Game Gear, this like little kid in me was like, oh, I want that. I always wanted a Game Gear when I was a kid. A friend of mine had it, and I played Mortal Kombat on it, and I thought it was amazing, even though it was a terrible console experience. Fast forward to the Steam Deck, it definitely gives me those vibes. Nostalgia. However, it does seem like the hardware is really awesome on there. Specifically the NVMe versions, because you know they got the $400 one, which is a different type of SSD architecture in there, and then the more expensive ones have the NVMe drives in there for the speed and all that. I think the button layout for like the D-pad and the A, B, X, Y on the sides is awkward for sure. However, it's got the paddles on the back, and paddles, like just as soon as you get used to using paddles on the back of a controller, it's your immediate go-to for the majority of things. So the fact that you can use the analog sticks and then also have the paddles on the back, like that's just awesome. Well done, Valve. This was totally like out of left field. I did not expect Valve to be like, you know what? If you're not gonna make a Switch Pro, Nintendo, we will make the Switch Pro that you actually want. And This thing is going to be able to run multiple operating systems. You know, I believe it's coming with Steam OS on there, but it's basically a PC. So you can load up various operating systems on there and also emulators. So you can emulate a bunch, emulate? So you can emulate a bunch of games on there as well for your handheld device. I do think 64 gig on the base model is pretty low unless you just use it for indie titles and not try to load up, you know, half of Call of Duty. And the 256 is probably the best like middle ground for that. I ultimately went with the 512 because I was like, well, it's just basically 120 bucks more for more storage, and it's got the anti-glare etched glass in there. I could care less about the Steam profile things. Like I'm not interested in that. So that was my justification on going with the bigger model. I do think the 256 gig model is probably the best all-rounder for the experience of that Steam Deck. So yeah, I'm super excited about it. Can't wait. I think it's gonna be awesome. And who knows when I'll actually get my reservation, because it might be middle of next year or something, which would suck, but that's just how it is right now. So I want to throw the question to you. Did you pre-order a Steam Deck? Are you interested in it? Do you think it's a cool item? Do you think it's gonna change your gaming experience? Or is it something that's just gonna sit on a desk and be used every 2 months or something like that because you have a big gaming rig already that, of course, you would only play on a 3090 RTX 3090. Yeah, I'm curious. I'm curious what you guys think. So let me know. Drop a comment below. And while you're down there, hit the like button and subscribe to the channel if you have not already. More content is coming soon. Thank you very much for watching. Deuces.